Hi, fourth graders. How many of you enjoy watching TV shows or movies where you have to figure out a mystery? I do. Well, the cool thing I want to tell you today is that reading nonfiction is kind of like being a detective in a mystery. Detectives look for clues and repeating patterns to figure out the mystery. Nonfiction readers do the same thing, only instead of figuring out the mystery, nonfiction readers figure out what the text is about and what it's trying to teach us about that thing, the main ideas. Today, I want to teach you that to find the main idea of a nonfiction text, it helps you to look for what repeats. That will let you know what's important. Then you want to ask, why is that important? What is the text trying to teach me about that? All right, now let's try this together. We read Beware of Frogs twice already. Did we notice any words that repeated? I'm going to look through here and see some words. Now I have my copy pulled up right here. And I'm going to look for words that repeat. At the end of a long, dreary afternoon, and you guys have a copy from yesterday if you want to pull it up and work with me, and you can highlight. Now, this is just telling us, this is giving us this dark, spooky start. But right here, it's going to talk about our frogs and the plastic. Now, here's where I start seeing some words that repeat. We've got migration, and I'm going to highlight that in green. And right here, migrate. I'll highlight that in my green as well. And now remember that the words don't have to be exactly the same word. It can be a it can be a synonym or migration, migrate. Those mean the same thing. All right, now let's see where we've got migrate, migration, a month-long migration period. We've got this kind of telling us all about migration. So green, 3 different shades of green. No, there they are. Okay, so here's what I highlighted. Look at my text. I'm noticing the image of frogs is repeating and words about migration. Migration, migration, migrate. See how I have those on my page? There's also down here, you're going to see some repeating things about driving. We're going to come down here and you can see how the warning drivers here. And if you remember, it talks about how that it's dangerous on the road. The country road 19, that would indicate drivers because it's a road. These are all things that talk about why it's dangerous for people that are driving. So, because the frogs get slick and squishy, we talked about that yesterday. Okay, so the title of the article is Beware of Frogs. Maybe that can help us think more about why we keep seeing words about frogs and danger repeating. Let's try to put our clues together. Frogs are migrating, so they are moving, and they seem to be in danger. So if you'll remember, whenever they were in danger, because they were in danger and they were dangerous to drivers. So we have those clues. Now we know they have to cross a highway, so maybe that's why they need the volunteers to help carry them in those buckets. The repeating parts, we're seeing these are kind of fitting together. The main idea, think about it. What do you think the main idea of this text is? And what is this text that basically, what is it trying to tell us? Okay, so my thought is that the main idea of this text is that those northern leopard frogs are in danger, and they're also dangerous to drivers. And when they migrate, they need help from humans to carry them across the highway. So there's your main idea. Not really that difficult. We just look for some patterns that were in there. We look for repeating words, put those together, and then we use what we already know from our reading, which we've been doing since K4, and we put those ideas together and we figure out what the main idea is. Now, when you're taking a test, because we're still working on test taking strategies, the test takers may ask you about the main idea of the whole text, or like yesterday, they may just ask us, what's the main idea of paragraph 3 and 4? I think it was paragraph 7 they asked us about yesterday. What was the main idea of paragraph 7? Either way, you'll want to skim for what repeats in the paragraph. See, and in paragraph 7, this is the one, frogs follow the same route for thousands of years. They have their migration up here. So they ask us for the main idea of paragraph 7. So it's going to ask you either for main idea. It might even ask you what is the main idea for paragraphs 5, 6, and 7. Either way, you have to go back and you have to reread those or skim those, see what repeats. Look for repeating patterns, repeating words that are in those paragraphs so that you can put that together. And then as a detective, you can put those clues together and you'll be able to figure out the main idea. Now today, for your assignment, you have a reading passage about trees. So you will read the passage, and then there's just a couple questions that you'll be able to answer at the bottom, and it's going to ask you about the main idea, and then it's going to add there. One of the questions asks you, what do you think? What did the author write that passage, and what was he trying to teach us? All right. So you guys have a great day. Bye.